So do miracles prove the existence of God? One of the most popular and famous proofs for the existence of God is the nature of miracles, and there's many examples that are often put forward as to why they would lead you to believe that God is there and is intervening somehow in the world. But the problem is this: in what we call a Newtonian universe, that is one that we now know is controlled by the laws of physics, it's impossible to maintain a belief in miracles and believe those laws of physics are correct. This was put forward by, of course, the great philosopher David Hume, and David Hume is famed for disparaging and disbelieving in miracles. Screen goes wavy. Let me take you back a few years to when I went on a school trip to Rome. And when we were there, Padre Pio was on tour. Now, Padre Pio died in 1968. And yet his body remains incorruptible. It's basically contained in a glass coffin, and you can go and see him. And he came to Rome while we were there, and I have to tell you that there were many thousands of people queuing to see him like it was a celebrity thing. So we've got a conflict here, haven't we, between, on the one hand, the laws of physics saying miracles can't happen, and on the other hand, widely accepted belief by people that miracles are indeed something that's there, that's wonderful, that definitely shows that God intervenes in our world. Certainly, the whole premise of the New Testament of the Bible is on a divine miracle that Jesus rose from the dead. Do those things prove that God exists? And casting your mind back to the last of these episodes, and if you want to go and look at it because you haven't seen it yet, the difference between evidence and proof, there is much evidence that miracles happen. Equally, of course, there is evidence that miracles cannot happen because the laws of physics are broken by them. So here's your problem. Which one do you believe? When I came back from Rome, I went to my friend and I said, oh, guess what we saw, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, that's not possible, that couldn't happen. And I said, so what evidence would make you believe miracles could happen? Equally, we could say, what evidence would prove to a believer that miracles couldn't happen? So we've got a bit of a dilemma here, a bit of a roadblock, that on the one hand you've got people who really believe in miracles, and on the other hand you've got people that really reject the truth of miracles. So whether they prove God exists rather depends on your own point of view. And we have a word for that. We call it a conative belief, a belief that you want something to be true, therefore the evidence backs up what you already believe is right. And certainly if you look at most people that quote miracles or give examples of miracles or talk about miracles, they are people that already believe there is a God. So the famous one that's often studied is that of Fabrice Muamba, the footballer who miraculously avoids brain damage after his heart stops for 70 minutes on a football pitch. Yet Fabrice Muamba and his family are deep religious believers. They already were deep religious believers. And the point is that the miracle validates their faith. It's something that makes their faith work in a way that it wasn't doing before. And so if you believe in God, it's quite possible that miracles are good proof that God exists, because you want that to show that. You want that to be what you actually see at the end of the day. On the other hand, if you believe in a Newtonian model of the universe that's based on the laws of physics, then clearly miracles are something which breaks that. One final concluding observation. Of course, our laws of physics are always developing and always changing, and there may well be things that we don't recognize are miracles because we don't yet have enough knowledge of those laws of physics to be able to give us an answer. And yet, of course, they may actually be true in the end of the day. Now, that could work either way. A miracle could be something that's true, but we just don't know why it's true yet. On the other hand, a miracle may just be a word we use when we don't know. Therefore, they're not miracles, they're just physics happening all around us. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks ever so much for watching. Keep watching, keep liking the videos, subscribe to the channel. Take care.